only Don Anderson and Patrick Anderson, I think you should pick something up there. Anderson gives the PNP a win. All of the other forecasters are suggesting that the Labour Party will prevail. The People's National Party will do well tomorrow. I'm going to repeat that. The People's National Party will do well tomorrow. This will be a good election for the PNP, People's National Party. But they will not win. They will do well in terms of voter support. In other words, the margins of victory, by the way, there are going to be some surprises tomorrow in terms of seats gained and seats lost. The margins of victory at the constituency level will be closer than 2020. But many of the seats will remain largely unchanged. So the People's National Party will do well in terms of the number of votes. But the electoral results by 8 o'clock tomorrow will be in favor of the Jamaica Labour Party. And I want to be fair and tell you this. It really has nothing to do with the type of campaign the PNP ran. It really has to do with the performance of the government. The performance of the government will win it, the election. Even if the PNP ran the best campaign, they wouldn't win. Their chances at picking up about 4 or 5 more seats were thwarted because of how they ran the campaign. They did not run a national campaign. They ran a personal campaign. The campaign did not target the issues relevant to the people of Jamaica. The campaign was largely negative. You are running a negative campaign in an optimistic society. It's confusion. You are preaching pessimism when the reality is optimism. It's contradictory. It's contradictory. And it brought confusion. The Labour Party, therefore, will walk away tomorrow with the broader smile while the PNP will be left licking their wounds. I say to labor rights, don't start the celebration just yet. And remember that Thursday we're one Jamaica. And that the elections are won on election day. Those were just suggestions I made looking at the election. Here is why I'm suggesting that the Labour Party will triumph. Write them down. 1, the person. 2, the performance. And 3, the passion. I have placed the win for the Labour Party under 3 headings: person, performance, passion. Let's tell you about the person. Andrew Holness, so long as he remains Prime Minister, will not lose an election in Jamaica. Let that sink in. I know that because the PNP knows that. Andrew Holness, so long as he remains Prime Minister, will not lose an election unless his government falls way off. And I don't see that happening. He cannot lose. And I know that by studying the psychology of the PNP's election. The PNP's election sought to diminish Holness. Why? Ask yourself that question. Why were the PNP seeking to diminish him? It's because of his value. It's because of his winnability. It's because of his popularity. So the Labour Party goes into the election clear favorites because the Andrew factor. Let me tell you this. You see all them people flying in from New York, Miami, is Andrew. Why them they are Jamaica? Andrew. The Andrew factor is a winning factor. The PNP knows it, and that's why Crawford was demeaning him. Mark Golding went after him. Dayton Campbell went after him. Break him down. Break him down. Break him down. Watch me. Portia Simpson Miller, the Labour Party tried it with her, and they were largely successful, you know. They knew of Portia's magic, and so they used G2K to go after Portia. Yes, the PNP tried the same thing. And it worked for a while, to be frank. But it did not work to the extent they hoped, because of the second point. For not only is the Labour Party likely and highly favorites to win tomorrow because of the person of Andrew Holness, but because of the performance of Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness and his government has performed. That is why the attacks have been leveled out by the performance. Because personality alone don't win you the election. Personality alone and likability, that has its place. But if you're a failure in government, you know, I tell people that you win an election after you win the election. Campaigning don't win your elections. It is governing. It is the way you govern that captures the heart of your people and endear you to them. Holness will win because of performance. The Labour Party put out a book with 250 achievements, and to date they have gone unchallenged. What are some of the performances that are in the minds of Jamaicans? We had an election campaign in Jamaica, and no mention of crime. That's performance. Poverty in Jamaica has been cut in half. That's performance. Unemployment in Jamaica is at an all-time low of 3.5%. That's performance. Everywhere you look in Jamaica, there is the environment, the atmosphere of a better Jamaica. I'm giving you 3 reasons why the Jamaica Labour Party will win. The first one is the person. And I told you, Holness can't lose. Too popular, too loved, too liked. And when you match the person, and you men listening to me, you know that, you could have nice little bit. You have to perform in Barry. You could have cute little more. Oh. I am 98% certain in what I'm saying in terms of the results tomorrow. 98%. I'm giving you 3 reasons why the Labour Party are favorites. Firstly, the person at the head of the party, Holness. This is Andrew Holness's era, politically. We have the Michael Manley era, Eddie Siaga, PJ Patterson. This era is Holness's era. And I tell you this, Holness, if he doesn't retire or resign, can win a 4th term and a 5th term because of what he has done to the minds of Jamaicans. Because Holness has not only performed, he has transformed thinking. Holness has not only performed, but he has transformed Jamaica. Jamaica today is not an ordinary place, you know. Jamaica has won the admiration of its Caribbean neighbors. And internationally, it's been recognized as a country to watch. That's transformation. And any leader who can take a country with a debt to GDP of 140%, poverty at 16%, unemployment out the roof, murders. Any leader that takes a country that is the murder capital of the world, I think we were second, and bring that country to be recognized as a leading country in a Caribbean, that leader should not lose an election. As a matter of fact, that leader will not lose the election. I'm giving you 3 reasons why the Labour Rights will walk away tomorrow with the broadest smiles. There are some other intricacies here that I could tell you, you know. No matter what you hear them saying and all of that gap, these are the reality, as KD would say. You have to look at the reality. It's not about the performance only, but it's about transformation. And Jamaica is being transformed spectacularly. Spectacularly. There is no question that this is the best Jamaica in since 1962. The best we have been. Students returned to school on Monday. They boarded JUTC buses in Kingston. And all they had to do was to be in their uniforms. They did not pay a red cent. That's Jamaica. Students going out to school next week in rural Jamaica can leave home without 1 red cent, for they'll get ride to school, right back home, and they can get breakfast and lunch for 2 months at school. That's transformation. And the generation that is now in school, who will qualify to vote in 2030, will overwhelmingly vote for Andrew Holness if he remains leader. Holness can't lose no election at Jamaica because he has transformed the body politics, the minds of our people. And you just have to admit that he's unbeatable. Every sector in Jamaica is in a better shape. The roads are better. The police stations are better. The hospitals are better. The clinics are better. Wages are better. There is no decline, except one concern I have. I'll share that with you on Thursday. I'll share that with you on Thursday. It's a better Jamaica. And because it is a better Jamaica, the change cliche is hollow. It does not line up with reality. So when you preach change and time come may be an aspiration of the PNP. It is not the reality of Jamaicans. Jamaicans tomorrow, in large measure, will return this government because they don't want a change. Jamaicans do not, at this time, want a change. There is no narrative in Jamaica that suggests that the people of Jamaica wants a change of government. None. And even if there was a narrative for a change, it is not the opposition in its current form. Not Damian Crawford and Dayton Campbell. Not those. So the PNP, by their posture, would have damaged their chances. Now, I know the comrades on here may be upset, but have a little water, man. Have a little water and calm down. Don't get too excited. I know it's hurting. Get a little water and drink, man. Because let me tell you, we can only have one winner tomorrow, you know. It's a first past the post. Somebody will have to win. And the Labour Party is going to win. Yes, the Labour Party will win. As a matter of fact, I can tell you how much seats they're going to win, you know. But I will leave that a little bit. Maybe I'll tell you tomorrow. And as I've said to you that I've done this forecast more than a year ago. When you test the pulse, you don't find sufficient people saying yes, they will. Even in the Don Anderson poll, it's not there. Because at best, Don Anderson says it's a statistical dead heat. And when you think that the Labour Party goes into the election with 49 seats and that the PNP will need to win 18 seats to have a chance, you realize that the task for them is huge. And they know it. They know it. The comrades know it. And when you consider the disastrous campaign they ran, all that you will remember from the PNP's campaign is blood and fire. A psychological, manipulative, musical chair that puts the people in a frenzy without any concrete prescriptions to solve their problems. On Sunday night, when the Prime Minister announced that minimum wage in Jamaica will go to $32,000 in 5 years, you knew the PNP were defeated by what they said at the press conference. If you ever wanted to know how defeated and deflated they are, listen to the press conference. They never had a clue, never had a response, and quite frankly, seems out of their depth. They rambled something that was pretty nonsensical. And you notice they sent Price and another young man, no senior member of the party, went to that press conference. That should tell you something. When you send Raymond Price to defend the party, you know that the matter to be defended is indefensible. It can't be defended. Well, I did my soundings on the ground, and I can tell you that this announcement of the minimum wage, if there were any doubts that the masses of people tomorrow will turn out for the party, then you don't know politics. Because when the PNP speaks of inflate, by the way, I hear some of these members of the private sector, Small Business Association of Jamaica, et al., the 8 months from now, the first tranche of 2005 is to be added. Small businesses, start making plans for that. That's the consultation we need. You have time to plan. Yes? And you also have time to plan for the second tranche and the third one and the fourth one, because you know it's coming. It's not like the government is going to stand up in Parliament and surprise you. You know it. So what you have to do is to plan for it. So the government is not only raising the minimum wage, it is giving the country an aspiration. Here is what we want to achieve. So let's work together to this. All right, so let's go to the third point. 3 reasons. You see how exhaustive each point is? Sometimes I talk too much, not true. My listeners. Sometimes I talk too much. Like Barry. Barry is a sometimes I talk too much. Here's number 3. Number 1, person. Number 2, performance. Jesus Christ, mom? Jesus Christ? Hello?
I'm just know tomorrow I got to vote for Labour.
You're going to vote for Labour tomorrow. Well, that's fantastic. You can come back and say that, ma'am. Finally, passion. Passion will win because of propaganda. I want to repeat. Passion tomorrow will win because of propaganda. The People's National Party supporters are enthusiastic. The Laborites are passionate.
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir?
Hello, Mr. Neighbor. How you doing?
Oh, I don't know what is happening here. What is happening? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi neighbor, I have in Jamaica. I spoke to you last night that I'm trying to sell you something. I have my Jamaican number. This is my Jamaican number. But you told me that I could sell it to the number you gave me. But when I put it on, they said it's not registered with Zelle, so I couldn't send it.
The People's National Party supporters are enthusiastic. Laborites are passionate. Now I can tell you, I can take half hour and talk to you about passion, you know. Yes. Passion will win tomorrow over propaganda. Here is where the election really matters. The first point I gave you and this third point are intertwined. The love for Holness has caused hurt because of the propaganda. When Golden Mark stood up on the stage on Thursday and called on the Prime Minister Andrew, it builds the passion. When Damian Crawford, guys, you don't know human behavior and human psychology. You don't know it. And you need a lesson. Some of you don't know politics. You are responding to the crowd in front of you. You're not responding to the rest of people. You see, if you don't broaden your tent, you're losing, you know. If you are going to be in public life, you have to understand that you have to reach people and you don't offend all. So in promoting your side, don't offend the other side. And what the PNP did, apart from dividing the country, because Jamaica right now is divided, unnecessarily so, by the comrades. The comrades have, you notice that Golden and the Prime Minister could not really shake hands on what you saw there was not genuine. It was staged. There's no love lost between those two. When Mr. Golden refers to him as Andrew, and when he went after his wife, Laborites became even more passionate. Why do you think they're coming in droves from overseas? It's the antness, you know? You hear them talk about Labour Party antness. It's the antness you're waking up. Because a beloved leader is being disrespected, humiliated even, in public view. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to speak this from a spiritual perspective. You hung Holness on a cross. and you thought he was dead. Like how they hung Jesus. But guess what? 3 days later, he rose again. You know what they call that week? Passion Week. You know why they call it Passion Week? You hung up this man, crucify him. But his supporters ran to the tomb Sunday morning, led by Mary, because they love him. They know of his goodness. The ones who crucified him, yeah, they didn't know. But Mary, they knew that he was an innocent man. Passion. Passion will win over propaganda. Because whilst the PNP base is energized, mobilized, enthusiastic even, labor rights are not only motivated, not only energized, their heart, PNP tomorrow will vote with the head. Labor rights are voting with them heart. They are going to be fighting for their leader tomorrow. That is going to be at the ballot box. And when they mark that X tomorrow, no labor right is going to just go into the station, and mark an X. They are going to press down on the paper. When you mark an X, you mark an X, the labor rights are going to press down on the paper and put that X there. Because that's passion. You never beat passion. You never beat passion. So, labor rights. Not sleeping tonight. X with an emphasis. Yes. They're not sleeping tonight. They are passionate about this. Give me a second. And when I look on the stage last week, what I saw on that stage was a man who done so much for Jamaica and had to be defending himself. Well, Mr. Holness, I'm telling you tonight, sir, your supporters are 100% behind you. Jamaicans do not want to see your government out of power. And they will turn out tomorrow in numbers never seen to re-elect your government. I give you a charge, sir, that the people will stand up for you tomorrow. Continue to stand up for them. The people will repose confidence in you tomorrow. Continue to serve them. Continue to make them proud. And I know you know, sir, that you're hurting. You're a human being. I saw it in your face as I watch you in that debate. I saw that you were not happy. But when I saw you in Spanish Town on Sunday, clearly you know something that many people don't know. The adulation and love. There are more people with you than against you. There are more people in Jamaica with you than those that are against you. And because of that, good will prevail. Finally, the wolf is a fierce animal. The wolf is a fierce animal. I'm coming back. In the world